Hello, Alex.
What's going on, Ralph? How you doing today, man?
Having the time of my life as always.
Very good, very good. That's what life's all about, right?
That's it.
We got a lot of information we want to get out over the air tonight, huh?
Well, this topic about recruiting, training, and goal setting, I think it's a pretty big topic, and we're gonna try to cover it in a very short time. But we're gonna go ahead and do a spam. We're gonna go ahead and pack it up. We're gonna jam it up, and we're gonna go ahead and just shoot it out.
That's it, and that's what we're here for. At the end of the day, we want to get out information quick, short, and make it concise. We're starting out with these half-hour episodes, man. We can go on and on and on about all the different topics and go on tangents. But I'm gonna stop myself in a tangent right
All
there.
right, so I'll talk about recruiting.
Definitely. So on the recruiting aspect, it's definitely changed. What can I say? It feels completely different. 2020 there was zero recruiting. We're at a all-time high in unemployment right now, so there's definitely a lot of good candidates out there. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of good candidates. At the same token, one of the bad things that happens is that, and we saw this in 2020, is that the unemployment, you know, between going out there and knocking on doors or staying home watching soap opera and making $875 for doing nothing and maybe doing some gig on the side. Uh, what do you think is best?
What do you think's best for what?
For the lazy people, the people that are not going to be listening to us because this requires a lot of hard work, sweat equity,
Sweat and equity,
sweat equity,
and a lot of lost hair.
and
uh,
a lot of sleepless nights.
Sleepless nights, of course. Before we get in the air here, we were talking about the goals, and every time before you get on, my mind just goes on and on. But we had a very quick goal that we set for the show, and I felt like it was very obtainable. And we were talking about April before we'd even start trying any of this craziness. But I think we're 2 weeks in now of
2 weeks.
the first thought of Tea Talks, or we've thought of this idea before and we talked about it, but I think it was like one phone call in the afternoon. I was like, "Hey, Ralph, you know, what we could do? I think this would be amazing. We could actually give back to not just people we interview or hire on a daily basis, or a room we can fill with 30 people. We can give back to helping and people that want to be an entrepreneur in the sales industry. You can offer them some tips and advice across the whole nation, the world. It's a pretty neat platform. And you see this podcast community growing on a weekly basis now. I'm keeping in touch. I'm watching other things and what's evolving, but I think there's a huge audience that can take advantage, that definitely have the device on them 24/7.
Talk about goal setting. I know that's one of the topics we're going to touch on, but coming back to recruiting, you know, and it is hard to find good quality candidates. And what usually happens is that for every 10 candidates that you get, your two of them are going to be great. The other eight, sayonara, arrivederci, no good.
See you
Because
later.
see you later, alligator.
And
And
you
the
both
reason,
you both know it. You both know it.
oh yes. So
This
what
isn't for
happens
me.
is
I
that
know it's not for me either.
so what happens is that the minute we start taking responsibility on the recruits, that's the minute that you're going to start ironing out, because every single person that you hire that does not make it, whose fault is it?
It's yours from the beginning. They enter your room and you make a decision on them. So at the end of the day, it's yours. So you
I,
either take the chance and your time and effort you put into them. If you chose the wrong individual, I guess
and
it
that's
all.
what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how do we determine to take that chance. Somebody that is green, that all they have is that will, that hungriness, and how do you measure that? How do you measure hungriness?
I'm going to let you take the mic on that. You've kind of been the one to answer those questions on that. So you tell me, how are you going to measure the hungriness on this one?
It's the kind of questions that you ask. In other words, if these people that you're talking to, and they're just happy to be the $500, $600, $800, they never seen $1,000. Um, You want the people that have seen $1,000, have seen 2,000, 3,000.
Wait, you want they've seen this personally in the movies or like in a
No,
treasure chest at Disney or what?
and no, that actually through sweat equity, they actually got money, and something happened, and they're trying to get back. Those
Uh-huh.
are the kind of people you want on your team. Those guys that are willing to go that extra mile when you
I'd
tell
have
them,
to agree.
oh, how high. And those people are really hard to find, but they're out there. They're diamonds in the rough. You just got to go ahead and find it. And the way
How
you
many
find it,
people have you interviewed in your lifespan?
oh my God,
I know it's a not, it's a long
thousands and
lifespan, but
thousands and thousands of people. Easily 7 to 8,000 people have interviewed over my lifetime.
I tell people, I'm definitely not, you got a little bit of business time on me, but geez, I tell people I've probably interviewed close to 3,000, met with maybe 1,000, trained 300, and made, hopefully 100 somewhat successful in whatever endeavor it was. That kind of was always the breakdown. But, there's also people along the line that made money, but, a couple people that, take the tools that you've given them and, go off with them into other aspects of business. That's kind of what I've done from business to business that I've learned. But it's pretty neat to see that, you find those individuals that have the talent and the self motivation to go for it, set the goals, and just go after it. Crazy.
But the one thing I will tell you that, and it goes back to recruiting, okay? You have to be honest with that trainee. You got to be able to don't try to paint this big pictures, a big paradise, and the get rich scheme. No, matter of fact, one of the things I laugh about is that I scare people off. I tell them, look, I don't
Wait,
think you
wait,
need
wait.
to be
You're
here.
telling me real quick. You're telling me you've never been to, geez, what are they? I don't know. I go back as far as like Mona V, or they've had some of those companies recently where it's like, hey, meet at the Hilton at Thursday at 9:30. And then you get there Thursday at 9:30 at night. They start at what 9:45, 10, and it's all they turn the music on real loud. Everybody comes in and they pump and blow smoke up everybody's rear end about big wishes and big dreams coming true in 2 months. Just put in the
That's
time, effort, and energy.
yeah, no, that's not how you build teams. You build team with honesty, and you tell them it's hard work, and are you willing to do it? And you got to look them in the eyes. Matter of fact, one of the things I always done is that they're all pumped up. They're all I give them all that Chinese food and all the motivation, and they're just walking in cloud 9, and they're like, yeah, I want to work. I want to work. I want to make $100,000. I want to make $100,000. I go, you know what? I want you to go ahead and think about it. Here's my card. And if you don't call me, hey, no problem. I don't care. I don't need you. There's 1,000 people out there that want to be that you. So if you really want this job, this opportunity, then you give me a call. And usually 9 out of 10 that will call me.
That's really cool. I need you as my recruiting expert. What's your hourly rate, please?
uh, Too
All
high.
right. So we were really talking about Elon Musk, right? The other day or so, and this guy, he's a heck of a talent. I don't know what the shares Tesla is over, what 13,000, I don't know, something like that. SpaceX, he's going to send the humans in the space. You hear that? The first fully civilian spacecraft going to outer space, Mr. Elon Musk, he's doing it himself.
Well, the guy has a drive, I can tell you that.
Yeah, he's amazing, but
They
his
told him
recruiting
PayPal was
process.
not going to be success, so they told him it was the worst. FedEx and PayPal, they have the business plan that was basically trash and talk trashed about, and look at them now.
Yeah, he's kind of went against industry since day one of his existence in business. He's like, oh, paper, card, PayPal, PayPal, paper, PayPal. He's like, oh, gas, electric. You want to crash your rockets? I'm going to land them things. But let's get back on topic again, back to the whole recruiting, and we'll go over some, good interviewing questions. Some of my favorite, and maybe some of yours. But we'll start off with his. I don't know if you heard, like he called a meeting, all hands on deck. It was something maybe 1 or 2 o'clock a.m. You have to look it up, but he was talking. He called all hands on deck. He's asking, why is this factory not running at 24/7? What's going on? He's like, we need to hire more people. He's basically like, hire more people that you would talk to at like the family party, not the person that you wouldn't talk to at the family party, you know, somebody that you would want to invite and be around. So his best question that he likes to ask was, you know, tell me about some of the most difficult problems you worked on and how'd you solve them. So that really opens up a can of worms into the really problem solving aspect of somebody's mind.
Sweet. I mean, one of the things that I like about asking the question is put him in different scenarios, bad scenarios, and how they deal with it. I always ask, what was the reason you left the last three companies? There's usually a common denominator. If they start saying, well, the manager this and the manager that, and then you go to the next company, the manager this, the manager that, you go to the next company, the manager this and the manager that. Well, guess what? It's not the manager.
At that point, if I'm in the interview, I don't know how long it's been since your kids were like 7 or 8 years old, but it just reminds me of my son just doing something annoying in the background that I completely tune out and I think about, I don't know, the stock market or what I'm having for lunch. But no, I know exactly what you mean. And it's, yeah, no, stay away.
The other question I love to ask is that, you know, what's the most amount of money they have made in their lifetime?
Now you're getting personal.
Oh, absolutely. Let's put it this way. You're hiring somebody to be in your team, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much time do you think you're going to spend with that individual? Are you going to spend more time at the office that you spend at home?
Yeah, he's getting more attention than my wife, and that's not fun.
So
hopefully he brings back a lot of revenue, so it makes it worth it.
You know, when we put numbers together and we're putting our teams together, you know, everybody is a contributing factor to the team. So I can't make a decision on a 15-minute conversation that this guy is going to be on my team.
Oh, that's why I love the second round interviews, phone interviews, even having, you know, you're not, yeah, exactly. Get out into the field. That's one thing that really, you know, why waste any more time with somebody if you don't know if they're really about what you're about and your business model? So you go right at it. So why would you sit in a conference room and a round table or your office or I don't know, Starbucks and spend, you know, a week in prepping this person and product knowledge and scripts and company knowledge and then take him out into the field a week later to be like, oh, he's not the guy. It's like, okay, let's train the roofing guy and let's go. We train him for a month in the office and then we go climb a roof and he's afraid of heights.
Yeah. And, you know, one of the things that I've done now over the years is that typically by the third day, I put him to do the actual task. Prior to actually being on the task, they have to go and kind of do a 1 hour live of whatever they're going to do. So they know what they're getting into.
You know what I call it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
feeding them to the wolves. That's what I call
that. No, to the wolves. No, to the lions. To the lions, because guess what? That is the reason why. And with the True Green Company, we had out of the top 10 in the state, we had 8 in our office. 8 of the 10 top revenue generators in the state of Florida. Guess how you do that?
I was just gonna ask. That stat's phenomenal. What was the secret sauce?
Secret sauce is it was a combination of recruiting, training, goal setting.
Well, all right. So we really want to get into goal setting by the end of this and kind of break it down for you a little bit. But the whole recruiting aspect, but it really, it's you know, you kind of monetize each part of it. You're right. Like you have this individual, and what do you do next? The onboarding process. How important is that?
Oh, it's extremely important. This is your make or break.
That's one thing that we weren't even going to touch base on until just now, but that's huge in this whole recruiting scheme. That's if you don't think the onboarding process is part of your recruiting, you're out of your mind.
You're completely wrong, because the onboarding process is going to go ahead and basically catapult that trainee to either catapult all the way to the ground 6 feet under, or he's going to go ahead and get some hype within the organization. So it is extremely huge. If you don't have an onboarding process, sit down, take a day or two, put something together.
Like a solid 2-week time frame. What you're going to do Monday through Friday for 2 weeks. I don't know. It doesn't even have to be whatever you're.
One or the first two. It depends on the industry, but typically your first 2
depends
days.
on the industry.
Yeah. So typically your first 2 days you should have it. It should be almost like a honeymoon. Okay.
Okay.
So never let them go to lunch on the first day. You always keep them in. Okay. And even on the second day, you always keep them in. Guess why? Why do you think you want to? Because you
don't go neg out without you.
Well, so they don't start talking outside all this negativity stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What you need to do in any team environment is that negativity, you cut it, you nip it immediately. There's no negativity.
No negativity. Even if you have, the rock star, he or she walks the walk, talks the talk, looks good, phenomenal, sounds great. But if they turn out being somebody, that wants to spread rumors or, just start, my paycheck or this, like something was wrong, and that spreads throughout the office. Oh, geez, that would get under my skin. That person, what you call cancer, and you want to cut it out.
I'm going to tell you, this happened to me close to 20 years ago. My top salesperson was the most toxic salesperson you can think of. He was my top sales guy.
Oh, I've had that happen too, man.
And I was told I have a choice. Either I let him go or I was going to let go. Like, okay, I guess I know which direction we're going to go. And to make, due to time constraint, to make it short, he's gone. I had 3 people that came up and stepped up, and I was making more sales because I got rid of the negativity. And sometimes we do this a lot where we are holding on because of, he's producing. But in reality, what he's doing is he's sucking up your sales room dry with
I don't like that much. Yeah, that's one thing that really got under my skin. I've been, we've throughout our careers and training, from in-store promotions, having people in front doing 5 steps to a conversation or training for the home improvement aspect, there's always been that person that I can, always think of in the back of my mind. I was like, yeah, that guy. After that meeting, we had a talk, and he wasn't in the atmosphere room ever again. Cause that's what it is. That's your atmosphere. Like that's your holy grail of your mojo sauce get going for your guys to hit the field and come back and feel home,
Absolutely. And I mean, that's part of your team building, and that's actually part of your training. This is, I mean, we just went from recruiting, the special sauce recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the onboarding, which is pretty much your next step, and then now you're training.
Yeah, no, now we just got into the training part. That definitely is the next topic, so it's right on the head there. But it's cool as we think about all that we're talking about right now, and we've kind of learned this together. We've been doing this for how long now?
A little bit too long.
A little bit too long, right? I've been bugging, like, I'll tell you, our host here, Rafael Rodriguez, he's always been the good shoulder on this side and the bad, the angels on this side, the devil's on that side. I'm like, all right, Ralph, I call him. All right, I need your advice on this situation. What would you do? I'm like, all right, dang it. All right, I'm not doing it. Thanks, man. Bye. But it's kind of been that situation. But I just want to throw that in there. We've been doing this together, and we really built a successful team and really killed it with one of the largest home improvement companies in Florida. We went our separate ways, like we said before. We worked with multiple dozen, I'd say, or so plus top producing hurricane impact window and roof companies in South Florida. I'm over here in Naples now. He's over there in Fort Myers, but we're still whining and grinding. We're getting this podcast to your remotes via COVID. It's different times. We're learning new things, how to turn the mic on, how to sound good, how to look good in front of this camera. Lighting is important. Maybe we can get, Ralph has, some, I think that's a treadmill in the background. Yesterday I had a dog cage in the background, but you're getting it live, raw, edited, uncut. We're going to get better every day. And, we hope to learn just as much as the audience.
Amen to that.
That's it, man. Back on training. What do you do day one? What do you do day one?
Day one, it's where's the bathroom? When is the lunch? Okay. Again,
Here's our company dialing list. If you want Sue, press 103.
well, what it is that you're trying to set the foundation, and when people get their paycheck and how their commission, they want to know about their money. So typically on the first or second day, we're already talking about the money. This is how you make your money.
That's it.
Okay. Because I don't know about you, but I think that most salespeople, the reason why they're salespeople is because they love money.
Your dog sound like he loves money right now. I'll tell
Oh
you
yeah,
that.
he's loving it. Yes.
No, you have to, and you got it when in. I always looked at day 1, 2, and 3 like those are the times for me to perform, for me to show up, for me to show that this is possible. Their first week in business, I want to show them money. So what do you got to do that? You got to show them how to make money first, and you got to lay out the plan over the next couple of days. Say, hey, follow me. We're going to go through some trials and tribulations. Day 1, we're doing X, 2, 3, 4, 5. Week 2, we're doing this. We're going over goals, and then we're getting back to you. We'll regroup. You'll ask questions. We'll answer, and then we're going to send you out to the woods and do it again. What else would you add other than 500 words in that?
Well, I think that the moment of recruiting and training starts from when you're recruiting. So typically the weeks that we're recruiting and the weeks that we're training, we're looking sharp. We're talking about your shirt, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in, but you definitely got to wear that shirt and tie. It's all about the image. It's all
So
about.
you're telling them what to show up to on day 1.
Oh,
You don't. Well, it's all industry related, but you want to look sharp, dress sharp, right? We're in sales. What are we selling? The first thing we're doing. What are we teaching? We're selling ourselves. Like, forget about the company. First time, we're gonna focus on you.
yep. And I know we talked about the 5 steps of I know I have it on my book, and I've been preaching it and teaching it and talking about it. You
The
sell
5 steps to a
yourself.
conversation.
No, you sell yourself, you sell the company, you create the need, you satisfy the need, and then you close.
There
Well,
you go.
guess what? When you're recruiting, you're selling yourself, you're selling the company, you're creating the need.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a position open. You're going to satisfy that need with this guy that is in front of you. And the way you close it is that you hire the guy. There's no difference. It doesn't matter. I could be selling caskets, and it's the same
Doesn't
process.
matter. It always goes back to this. I love that you say that, because I'm a firm believer whether I'm selling the silver coin I have in my hand, or this little golf thing I have on my desk, or telecom, insurance, cars, or home improvement, give me the commodity and service of your industry. Please email it. All the information for our contact information to our Facebook, Instagram. By the way, please like, subscribe when you get a chance if you like our show. But at the end of the day,
sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. I see, I go to drop in the social medias. I totally forgot train of thought. Where was I?
We were talking about training, dressing, dressing the
sharp.
part.
That's it, man. Looking sharp. The first business I was ever in, the direct TV go around that we could talk about all the time, because I could just love the stories, because that was, me before I was 21 years old and working 7 days a week running a business and really going through the grind, broke. But, I wore a suit every day and, a nice watch and a shiny belt and shoes. So I didn't look broke, and still led people into stores every day and have some fun, right?
You fake it till you make it.
That's it, man. You got to fake until you make it. I was just thinking before we jumped on tonight, like I was just going to wear, I don't know, my regular orange basketball shorts or something, and then actually just have a suit over this. Like, it looked pretty cool. Like I'm faking, I look great, but I have basketball shorts on underneath, but we're making it happen. It's pretty exciting.
You see that company logo?
Which one of the companies is that?
This is for the Total Source Network.
Real quick, they definitely one of our sponsors, Total Source Network. Tax season's right around the corner. February
14th is when they open up, but April 15th is the deadline for personal. If your LLC partnership, it's actually March 15th, and April 15th is the deadline.
So please support the cause. We support you. You have a great team that's ready to take care of you. And if you want to reach out, I believe it's what, Ralph?
They can go to bookkeepers.com.
Amazing.
Back
Back
to goal
to
settings now.
goal setting and ending the show. I think that's a good way to end this one. And talking about the goals of this show, and we did it, we kind of, set a shoot for the stars and aim for the moon. We kind of landed on the stars for this one for timeline. I don't know about production yet, but we're working on it.
We're working on it. We're working on it. Ongoing process.
That's it. It's lovely. It's fun. But goal setting, that's one of the most important things that you could do for your life, for your business, for your family, for your future. If you don't have it in front of you as consistently as possible, I don't believe it's going to happen. So I write my goals probably weekly. I try to write them daily. What about you, Ralph?
My goals are every morning. What I'm going to accomplish today.
How many people am I going to help today?
And absolutely, because if you haven't heard about Give 'em the Pickle, it has to do with ice cream, and it's something that dates back in the 70s, but it's all about.
We're good.
Oh, okay. Well, Give 'em the Pickle. So it's a long story. I'll try to make it short. Very short. When people start focusing on the money instead of money being the byproduct of whatever they're doing, it's a complete failure. So you don't focus on the money, you focus on the will of helping. Now, why is that important? Because it has to do with goal setting. When you and a lot of times I will tell you that when we're doing our goal settings with our salespeople, is that I typically ask them, what number they want to get to. Okay? And I don't know about you, but I always loved any of my sales people, anybody in our team that I can honestly say that they went through a life-changing epiphany. I just get goosebumps.
Dude, those are wins for us all day.
I got people that trained 20 years ago that they still
awesome.
send me a message through Facebook and says, "Hey, Ralph, thank you so much, man. I'm really thankful that you put the time on me."
Yeah, so you have more time on me. I love it. I literally had 3, 4, maybe 6 or I can keep thinking, like, I'm getting goosebumps that are still successful in business. And when we met, we were both starting out, and I was, just took a lead because I had nothing better to do. I was a kid. I was competitive. Sports nature was, I just wanted to grow a team and be successful, and I just went at it. And so many people you meet along the way. It's really fun. We can throw so many shout outs that even me and you know together since the time we've, started the home improvement industry, canvassing and sales management and training and project management, and all that fun stuff. But, that's really cool. Those are definitely big wins. But now that we're on a stage that we can kind of spread I think that's pretty cool. I can't wait till we take questions, really focus on, good questions, and come back and do shows on them. We're looking to hear from the audience as much as possible, from average sales reps across the country, or you're getting into sales. Like, we want to hear from you and hear your stories, good and bad.
And the one thing that I will suggest is that if you need help with goal setting, shoot us an email. Let's go ahead and work together in getting that, whatever your goals, that whatever you're trying to accomplish. Because what happens is the following, is that a lot of times you want to set attainable goals. And I know we talk about shooting the stars and so on and so forth, but some people just mentally cannot take a small failure. And you got to kind of train your thought process to have small wins. You guys, I know everybody have heard that maybe I didn't win the battle, because I still got the war going on. Okay, you got to have small wins, and in between the small wins, you might have some drops, and what happens is that, especially when you're new in the sales environment, a lot of people don't know how to shake it off. And you know how you shake it off?
How's that?
How do you shake it off? The way you shake it off is that today is today, tomorrow is tomorrow.
That's it, man. It really is. I'll bring up. I wasn't going to talk about it, but hey, I'm still out there on the grind every day. We were out there training, and I really got this guy. He's probably my age times two. He comes out here hustling guy. I love him so much. Jamaican guy. We were knocking on doors literally today. I went out there for a couple hours with him, and there was a couple rude people, like completely rude. And he's like, "Look, man, I don't care. It's just all about you can do. What can you? We spread love. If they don't want to give it back, just know you spread the love, and then keep going, and that's it. And live life like that." I was like, you know what? You're right. I've thought of that many times, but just to hear that from you today, from being out here for 5 minutes, and you're coming back tomorrow, man, that's phenomenal.
Well, and believe it or not, it's the same concept when you're knocking on doors. I always tell people that, especially the new guys, is that when you walk to that door, what do you have? You have zero. You have nothing. So if you walk out with nothing, how much did you lose?
Nothing.
So so what? Go to the next one and start all over again.
That's it. I mean, we talk about Rocky. He went on a lot of different episodes there, and his story is phenomenal. I don't know how many of you actually know his story before it actually became a film, but it's not about, how many times you get knocked out or how hard you get knocked out. Yo, Adrian. I'm gonna watch that tonight before I pass out. But those are great. It's just all the good, the Boiler Room movie. It's just
Boiler Room. Oh, that's a classic.
all day.
I come from the call center, so that's I know I'm giving out my age here, but definitely a classic. And you will notice that there's a couple things that are you know Rocky had he set his goal that he was going to go ahead and make that movie.
Yeah, he didn't stop. He slept in his car. They told him, "No, you're not going to be in it, but we'll buy your script." And he's like, "Nope, I'm Rocky."
He had a goal.
That's it.
He had a goal, and once you put that goal and put it in writing, vision boards, they work great. You got to visualize it. You got to produce it. Where's your vision board?
I don't know, but I was going to show you this thing. Let me show you something real quick. I know they can't see it, but I know you want to get one of these things. You're going to be jealous. So we go to the camping world to go look at the fifth wheels and all that nonsense, right? So, you just set goals. I'm like, this is COVID. We're not going to Disney anymore. Let's travel. So fifth wheels, I don't want to buy the big truck, haul it around and all this. And then, you look at all the different A class. I don't want to drive a bus and they break down, hard to work on. C classes were cool. And then I looked how much they could tow, and it wasn't what I was expecting. So I found this thing.
Sweet.
A super C class with 20,000 pounds towing capacity. That means I could tow my mobile office, a Jeep, and a quad, and go tour the world. What do you think? At least, South America, North America, not the world.
Look at the writing, what it said. Designed for who?
Oh, shit, what it said?
It says design for you.
Your life.
Your life. It's all about the marketing, baby. Look at that. Design for your life. And you notice how they put your in red. It's just
as an error, like insert.
Well, it accentuates the whole sentence, just like a free estimate in red.
So I asked the lady, I'm like, all right, I want this thing, Super C, under 300 grand. What do you got? This one barely made the limit.
Well, I think we're coming to time, but I think that the last thing we want to make sure is that your goal setting.
No, that's it, man. That's it.
Goal
You saw
setting,
my
but
goals. I got this fake money on my table. I got silver around me. I got the RVs. What do you want? Put it in front of you. Write it down. Look at it every day. Make it happen. Work at it. When you're in the field, you're in the grind. Things are going down. Think about your vision board. Think about the things you want to better your family and your life. Hey, this is Alex DeLuca and Rafael Rodriguez. We're here to give you the big wins, big tips, insights, everyday business and life. I'm excited to grow the platform, grow the listeners, and just have a lot of fun doing this.
you got it. All right. So signing off from Hollywood.
In Naples.
Talk to you later.
Later.